Welcome to Stegmeier Corporation's instructional video on installing concrete countertops. Concrete countertops are the latest innovation in design for upscale kitchen, bath areas, and commercial bar tops. Concrete countertops are one of the most functional and attractive forms of concrete work done today. Although our forms are used in pouring precast countertops, we prefer the cast on site as the primary method. In this video, we will show you the method step by step that we use for doing cast in place concrete countertops. You can do them too by following these procedures. Plywood is an excellent material to deck the cabinets with before installing the concrete countertops. We bevel the edge to a 45-degree angle. A 2-inch overhang is recommended. Carefully position the plywood decking on the cabinets and attach with wood screws. Take special care to position the screws so as not to damage expensive cabinets. It is also helpful to caulk any seams with a waterproof caulk. We paint on the Stegmeier bonding agent to waterproof the plywood decking. This stops the decking from swelling and distorting, as well as preventing any water damage to the cabinets. Stegmeier backsplashes are available in two profiles, marble round and regular. If a concrete backsplash is to be installed, it must be formed and poured before the countertop is poured. Wire reinforcing should be attached to the wall using sheetrock screws. The sheetrock screws are placed every 4 to 6 inches apart. Attach the backsplash form to the 1x6 lumber using a spray adhesive. Lightly spray the back of the backsplash form, then spray the 1x6 lumber. Let them air dry so the adhesive becomes tacky. Once they tack up, line the bottom of the 1x6 lumber to the bottom of the backsplash form. Attach the two together. Once you have attached the form to the 1x6 lumber, use 6-inch shelving brackets to the back of the 1x6 using wood screws. Space out the brackets 24 to 30 inches apart. While attaching the backsplash form, it is helpful to use a block gauge. Cut a strip of wood to desired thickness and shove the form up snug. This maintains a uniform depth. If the wall is not straight, it may be necessary to snap a chalk line on the plywood deck and set the form to this line. Use protective tape on the wall to prevent concrete splatter from damaging the finish. The blue tape is placed on top of the form to prevent small beads of foam from falling in the mix when you screed and trowel. The concrete mix used to pour the backsplash will be the same mix design as used later to pour the countertop. More information on mix design will be given later in the video. The concrete mix is carefully poured into the form and settled into place using a concrete vibrator. The vibrator consolidates the concrete and eliminates honeycombing. You should use a margin trowel to finish out the top edge. Once the concrete can support its own weight, the forms can be removed. To remove the backsplash forms, first remove all the shelving brackets, then use a margin trowel to carefully separate the 1x6 lumber from the backsplash form, making sure not to put pressure onto the form. After the 1x6 lumber has been removed, use the very tip of the margin trowel to slowly remove the extra concrete from under the form. This will allow the form to come off much easier. Without creating any unnecessary pressure on the concrete, slowly peel the backsplash form down and away from the backsplash, exposing the face for the finish. Use a spray bottle to lightly spray some water on the backsplash. Then use a foam profile edging tool to finish the concrete. Slide the foam profile edging tool back and forth until desired finish is reached. To finish the top, hold the foam profile tool in position and use a margin trowel for a flat, sharp edge. Stegmeier Corporation countertop forms come in 5 shapes: capstone, diamond cut, marble round, regular, and OG. They are available 32 feet per carton in 4-foot lengths. Included in the carton is a tie wire side kit for bracing, bending tape to bend a radius, foam profile finishing tool, and printed instructions. For a top mount sink, box out the sink cavity using a 2x4. Cut to the thickness of the concrete countertop. Use a template from the sink to get the measurements. You'll be able to cut out the hole later with the saber saw. Hold the 1x4 lumber flush to the tip of the 45-degree angle. Shoot brads straight down every 6 inches. This needs to be done around the perimeter of the cabinets. The reason you shoot the brads down is so the lumber can be easily removed when the job is complete. Use a block of 1x4 lumber to hold the wire mesh off the decking. Then use 2 wood screws at an angle to hold the wire mesh in position. We recommend a continuous band of rebar around the perimeter of the countertop as well as around the sink openings. Because all job sites are custom, it is the responsibility of the contractor to determine the type and size of the reinforcement needed based on the intended use of the countertop. Stegmeier Corporation's countertop forms can be mitered for an angled cut or bent for a radius. For a radius, sand the corner of the 1x4 and decking to desired radius. If you need to bend a tight radius, here's how. Using the bending tape provided in the carton, apply strips of tape to the backside of the form. The tighter the radius, the more strips of tape. Run the strips well past the bend in both directions. When you use the bending tape, be sure to rub the tape down tight to make sure it sticks. Bend the form over your knee. The tape allows you to compress the form into a radius. Once you are satisfied with the length, pull back both rolls of paper from the double-faced tape as you go, not all at once. Take your time when attaching the form to the 1x4 lumber. The double-faced tape is very effective. You want to be very careful that you put it exactly where you want it. Line the bottom of the radius to the tip of the 45-degree angle. The double-face tape holds the forms to grade while the tie wires add additional support. First, push a pilot hole through the form from the inside, then insert the tie wire through the form and secure them with a twist around the wood screw. There is a serration in the tie wire that severs back into the concrete when the forms are stripped. Use blue tape to cover the top of all the countertop forms. The tape prevents small beads of foam from getting worked into the mix when you screed and float. The setup is complete, and now we're ready to pour. Stegmeier Corporation does not favor any particular type of mix design. There are many great mix designs on the market today. The mix we used on this job was Maximizer 5000 with water reducer, Portland, and sand added to the mix. Insert the concrete using 5-gallon buckets. Level the concrete out. Then use a concrete vibrator along the inside edge of the countertop form. The concrete vibrator will eliminate honeycombing and make for a smoother finish. Use a straight edge to screed off the extra concrete, then trowel smooth. Remember, you can't finish this concrete too tight or too smooth. Once the concrete can support its own weight, the countertop forms can be removed. To remove the forms, first snap off the tie wires by twisting the tie wires clockwise. Then cut the bending tape at the joints and peel the top of the form back and away from the concrete. Use the foam profile edging tool to finish the face. Spray a light amount of water on the edge and slowly rub the face back and forth to a desired finish. The job is complete for the day. Let the concrete cure before applying stains and sealers. Now that the concrete has cured, the stains and sealers can be applied. First, remove the 1x4 lumber by pulling it down and away from the counter. Then use pliers to remove the brads from the bottom of the 3/4 inch decking. For the sink, first remove all the wood screws around the cavity. Then slowly pry the wood gauges away from the concrete. Take extra caution not to damage the finished concrete. After the guides have been removed, use a drill to drill a pilot hole for your saber saw. Then use the saber saw to remove the extra 3/4 inch decking. One common question is, will standard cabinets support the weight of concrete countertops? The answer is yes. The weight of a 2-inch thick concrete countertop is only 25 pounds per square foot. The weight is easily supported by standard cabinets. Your imagination and your execution play major roles in the finished work. Your project will be unique and distinctive. We recommend that you do sample countertops. They don't need to be large samples. The idea is for you to become more comfortable with this process. Acid staining seems to be most popular. Water-based stains can provide the light and bright colors not available with acid stains. Another popular color choice is liquid or dry integral colored mixed with sand, rock, and cement. Color hardener is a blend of sand, cement, and pigment that is worked into the surface while the concrete is still wet. Working with these samples is an effective way to find the coloring methods that work for your project. You are welcome to contact Stegmeier Corporation at our toll-free number for help in locating local suppliers of color hardeners, sealers, and other materials you will need for your final finish.